Have you ever noticed how certain expressions slip into our culture and suddenly everyone uses them? Unconditional love, ego strength, happiness. They sound deep, but most of the time they're just memes, mental shortcuts. Richard Dawkins once said, memes are to culture what genes are to life. They spread, mutate, and survive, whether they're true or not. Today I want to talk about how these unexamined memes quietly shape our emotional life and how freeing ourselves from them can make us clearer, calmer, and more honest with ourselves. We often use phrases like strengthen the ego, find closure, love yourself, as if we're saying something profound. In truth, we're just using convenient capsules, packaged thoughts. I call it mental laziness. Instead of examining our inner experience, we hand each other these linguistic ready meals. Love, hate, too much, not enough. They make us feel we have understood something, but often we haven't even begun. In everyday chatter, vague memes don't do much harm. Most conversations are casual. Precision is not expected. But in psychiatry, or in our inner world, vagueness can be disastrous. An internist asks, where does it hurt? A psychiatrist asks, what do you mean by the word you just used? Most people don't know. We've borrowed language from culture so deeply that even our private thoughts are infected by memes. We end up suffering from beliefs that aren't even ours. Sometimes a person can be freed from years of torment simply by challenging one unexamined concept. Take the word closure. Its dictionary definition is a comforting sense of finality. But in emotional life, especially after a breakup, it becomes something else. I need closure for my ex. And here's the problem. As long as you believe someone else must give you closure, you'll never have it. You remain tied to the very person you're trying to detach from. It's a psychological catch-22. True closure isn't granted, it's chosen. When you stop waiting for it, you've already begun to heal. Another powerful meme is happiness. Most people list it as their main goal in life. But think about it. Happiness is fragile, fleeting, and largely out of our control. It's hard to achieve and very easy to lose. We are simply not wired for constant happiness, and yet we act as though happiness was a right, a permanent state. We chase it endlessly, feeling robbed when we can't sustain it. But you cannot be deprived of something that was never yours. When we stop worshipping happiness as life's ultimate purpose, we start finding steadier, more truthful forms of contentment, meaning, curiosity, wonder. Then there's the unconditional love, perhaps the most seductive meme of all. In modern speech, love has become cheap. I love iced coffee, I love my yoga teacher. We use it to mean, I like this thing that makes me feel good. But real love, towards a partner, a friend, a family member, is anything but unconditional love. Love waxes and wanes. It mixes with resentment, tenderness, annoyance, desire, all within a single day. If your love were truly unconditional, it would mean it has become detached from reality, independent of who the other person is or how they treat you. Healthy love should be conditional. The conditions are honesty, respect, and reciprocity. That is what allows love to evolve rather than decay. In family court, I often hear divorcing couples say, "We got married because we fell in love." Now, they cannot stand each other, and they insist that their partner changed. Perhaps, but maybe it is we who changed, or perhaps We were never clear-eyed to begin with. Being in love can be intoxicating, but it's also blinding. It's a temporary suspension of critical thought, not so different from being high. When you choose a life partner in that state, you're gambling. If you're lucky, the intoxication fades into something deeper. If not, you wake up next to a stranger and wonder, what were you thinking? Love born out of fantasy often ends in resentment. Love grounded in reality, conditions, flaws, change has a chance to endure. Spend some time with toddlers. They live in wonder, invent words, see the world freshly, but they cannot yet cooperate because they lack shared language. Language made us powerful species, able to plan, collaborate, and build civilizations. But it also cost us something: subtlety. We began trading our unique perceptions for common memes. Our words become standardized, our thoughts simplified. Over time, even our private conversations, our inner dialogues, get reduced to clichés. Ask yourself, why use the lowest common denominator when talking to yourself? You don't need language to understand your dreams. You can think in images, sensations, intuitions. So why let unexamined concepts, closure, happiness, success, dictate how you feel about your life? You can redefine every one of them privately, in your own way. You're the sole custodian of meaning in your life. When you feel bitter or disappointed, remember these 4 things. This is your only life. You are destined to live it as yourself. You bear, and oftentimes you are the only one who bears the outcome of your decisions. You are free to define yourself to yourself without needing anyone's agreement. Forget this and you start pretending. You begin living someone else's life, guided by borrowed memes. Nothing is more exhausting than that. People often say, this is not the life I was supposed to have. But if you look closer, that's because they've lived according to memes, not meaning. It's never too late to live your own life on your own terms. It may feel strange at first, but it will also feel astonishingly natural. As Nietzsche said, you have your way, I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, the only way, it does not exist.